2025 is a far-right manifesto. It is a 1,000-page bucket list of extremist policies that would uproot every government agency and disrupt the lives of every person who calls this country home. The Department of Education would be eliminated, cutting students off from civil rights protections and ending essential Title I funding for K through 12 schools. Abortion care would be inaccessible and illegal no matter where you live. These policies would quite literally ruin and end lives. And I didn't even touch upon proposals for housing, climate change, worker protections. If enacted, Project 2025 would destroy the federal government as we know it.
Baby, you set my soul on fire.
Springfield is such a beautiful place. Have you seen what's happened to it? It's been overrun. You can't do that to people. They have to be removed.
So you would revoke the temporary protected status?
Absolutely. I'd revoke it and I'd bring them back to their country.
To play chess, not checkers. It's about making decisions that will affect us as human beings, our next generations to come.
I'm flying so high, I don't see the ground.
They are attacking our most vulnerable citizens. The Project 2025 plan is not a game. Look it up.
So high, I don't see the ground. Baby, you set my soul on fire.
We were talking, Marcus, about this constant criticism about the vice president not being able, about the vice president being in office for these last, he's already upset about it. The vice president being in office for all these years and not being able to make the change was the allegation from J.D. Vance. You said to me, I've been to high school civics class. Why did you say that?
Because if anybody took high school civics class, they'd know what the vice president can do and what the vice president can do. I want to make a quick point. Neither candidate on that stage talked about what executive action they're going to take on day one to do what they want, nor were they asked because they know that they can't. That's not how the vice presidency works. You don't get to do what you want. You do what the president delegates you to do. So that
one day, Marcus is going to be all of our teachers in civics class, guys.
Project 25 not only calls for national book bans in schools, but also creates a list of banned words for the federal government that would be deleted from, quote, every federal rule, agency regulation, contract, grant, and piece of legislation that exists. Here are just a few of the words on the list: diversity, gender, reproductive health, and of course, conservatives want to ban the word abortion.
Project 2025 calls for eliminating the Department of Education, eliminating the Department of Commerce, deploying the military for the use of domestic law enforcement against protesters.
I'm in line with the stars, I'm in sync with the earth. 10 toes deep, flower child from the turf. I never switch sides, like even when I die, I'm a ride for the squad, let her ties in the hearse. I've been on a vibe, kinda hard to describe. I'm in between, I'm good and it's fine, but I'm tired of the grind. Then I come alive in the night to realize I'm in the middle of the time of my life.
Time for us to play chess, not checkers. It's about making decisions that will affect us as human beings, our next generations to come.
Talking to the grip in the face, be still, let that hate stuff.
They are attacking our most vulnerable citizens. The Project 2025 plan is not a game. Look it up.
I swear to God, it's like playing whack-a-mole with these MAGA orcs. Every time I address one of their issues, something else pops up, and here's the latest. They're wanting to know why Kamala Harris hasn't accomplished anything over the past 3.5 years as vice president. And you know, that question reflects a scary lack of understanding about how the government works. Let me see if I can explain it to them in terms that they'll understand. The office of vice president is largely ceremonial. It provides no legislative authority at all. The vice president can break ties in the Senate. The vice president stands ready to take the place of the president should he or she become incapacitated, and that's it. The rest of it consists mostly of attending state dinners, judging contests, and kissing babies. You know, a better question to ask would be, why didn't Donald Trump accomplish his legislative agenda when he was actual president for 4 years? For instance, remember that fabulous wall that was going to be built between the United States and Mexico along the border, the one that Mexico was going to pay for? Why didn't that get done? What about that fantastic infrastructure bill that was going to revitalize the economy and rebuild America? Where did that go? What about that beautiful new health care plan, the one that was going to replace Obamacare? What happened to that? One thing that Donald Trump did accomplish when he was president is he cut taxes. Remember that tax cut that you guys thought was such a great idea, although it added trillions and trillions of dollars to the debt? Yeah, well, guess what? That expires next year. Next year, no matter who's president, your taxes are going up. Corporate taxes are not going up. Billionaire taxes are not going up. Those tax cuts were permanent. But your taxes, they're going up. That means that on top of the high cost of gasoline, the high cost of groceries, unaffordable housing, skyrocketing insurance, your taxes are going to go up. And for that, you can thank Donald Trump. Why don't you guys stop using your brains as doorstops for your ears and actually think for a change?
Hey there, who are you? Oh, just the most important document in our country's history. You mean the Constitution? Nope. The Declaration of Independence? Yes, again. The Federalist Papers? The Federalist... What? No. Even more important than whatever you just said. Now sit right here and I'll tell you all about me. I'm just a little paper for the ages. A way to set the government straight. A short 887 pages on how to make America great again by forcing through the president's agenda, removing all of those who disagree, replacing with our loyal party members, and reclaim our great country. In sum, give power to the president to authorize the government to legislate morality and wrestle back normality from Marxist ideologies that infiltrate our policies like gender, race, or anything woke. We're gonna abolish the Department of Education, turn the swearing in into a coronation. America's great salvation will arrive with Project 2025. Coronation? You mean like a king? No, it's called the unitary executive theory. Gives the next president unchecked power to do whatever they want. So, a king? Oh, let's not get hung up on semantics. Here's how it's gonna work. Once that we've started the transition, and no one's left to tell us to wait, we'll go through every policy position, get rid of all the language that we hate, like civil rights, diversity, and unions, and pronouns to mention but a few, defunding any liberal institutions that dare question what we do. I'm pretty sure the Supreme Court... Oh, the Supreme Court, that's a good one. Now, where was I? Abortion will be pretty much illegal, and reproductive rights will be gone. We'll get back to the biblical ideal that a family means a daddy and a mom with kids. Repeal the crazy climate regulations that get in the economy's way, with everyone reporting to their stations on Inauguration Day. When we give power to the president to authorize the government to legislate morality, expelling abnormality like godless ideologies, protecting inequalities like gender, race, and anything woke. We're gonna abolish the Department of Education, convert the melting pot into a Christian nation. The stage is set and we'll be going live in 2025.
You can't seriously say all that.
Wanna bet? Come on, let's crack me open.
Page 124.
Make more nuclear weapons.
Page 257.
End the war on fossil fuels.
Page 214.
No more gun violence protection.
Page 298.
Or feeding hungry kids at our schools.
Turn to page
Ban
5.
offensive books from the classroom.
563.
Make it hard to register to vote.
Page 449.
Dismantle Medicare.
534.
Kill off the grizzly
Page
bear.
4.
Delete the term sexual orientation, gender equality, awareness of sensitivity, diversity, equity, inclusion, abortion, reproductive health, and reproductive rights out of every rule, regulation, contract, grant, and piece of federal legislation that exists. And that's an actual quote. And that, my friend, is only the beginning of how this makes America great. You'll be so overwhelmed with all the winning that you won't know what you've lost till it's too...
Wait! This doesn't sound great at all.
No?
No, it sounds like a fucking nightmare.
Well, I guess if you wanted to, there's still some things you can do to stop it.
Like what?
Well, if you vote to save democracy and stand against autocracy and tell your friends and family, enough with this insanity. We fought too long to part with these essential civil liberties like privacy and equity and bodily autonomy and what defines a family, equality and empathy. And we're not going back, and maybe we can stop this radical abomination. The future all depends on your participation. That's the way democracy will thrive. America was made for you and me, so let's defend our freedom and our dignity. Now raise your voice and let's keep hope alive in 2025. Now vote!
Project 2025 prohibits the FBI from combating the spread of misinformation and disinformation.
Time for us to play chess, not checkers. It's about making decisions that will affect us as human beings, our next generations to come. They are attacking our most vulnerable citizens. The Project 2025 plan is not a game. Look it up!
Won't you join in? I can help you with anything you need. When you make mistakes, I can ease your pain.
If you believe the polls, Donald Trump is heading for the White House in 2025, and he'll be bringing Project 2025 with him. That's the 920-page policy document filled with crazy far-right authoritarian proposals that you all need to know about and that I'm going to summarize for you right now, all 30 chapters, in just 2 minutes. Start the clock. Chapter 1, turn the White House Council, which is supposed to give the president independent legal advice, into a, quote, activist force for the president's agenda. Chapter 2, root out anyone in the National Security Council or the Office of Management and Budget who's too woke or is aligned with the president's agenda. Chapter 3, replace thousands of career civil servants with MAGA loyalists. Chapter 4, radically increase the defense budget, expand the nuclear weapons production, lift restrictions on arms sales and expel all transgender people from the military. Chapter 5, ramp up deportations of undocumented immigrants, including dreamers, make it easier to detain kids in detention camps and allow ICE officers to arrest migrants anywhere in the US, even without a warrant. Chapter 6, defund the Palestinian Authority, bring back Trump's Remain in Mexico asylum policy and restrict funding for international health organizations like the WHO. Chapter 7, ramp up the use of covert ops and use the CIA to, quote, implement the president's agenda. Chapter 8, defund, quote, unquote, leftist news organizations like NPR and PBS. Chapter 9, get rid of all climate policy from our foreign aid programs. Chapter 10, restrict food stamps and free school meals in low-income school districts. Chapter 11, abolish the Department of Education. Chapter 12, gut renewable energy programs and vastly expand our natural gas infrastructure. Chapter 13, shrink the EPA and shut down the Office of Environmental Justice. Chapter 14, get rid of Head Start for low-income families and ban the abortion pill mifepristone. Chapter 15, ban all non-citizens from living in government-subsidized housing, even if they're living in a family with citizens. Chapter 16, weaken the Endangered Species Act and significantly expand oil drilling in Alaska. Chapter 17, empower the president to investigate his opponents through the DOJ and eliminate the FBI's independence. Chapter 18, make it easier for businesses to discriminate on the basis of religious freedom and, of course, race. Chapter 19, restrict the EPA's ability to regulate CO2 emissions from cars. Chapter 20, force the Department of Veterans Affairs to seize abortion services and gender-affirming surgery. Chapter 21, focus the Minority Business Development Agency on, quote, the evils of socialism and communism. Chapter 22, increase taxes on millions of low-income and middle-class households. Chapter 23, it's just a long rant against China. Chapter 24, should we bring back the gold standard? Chapter 25, punish Planned Parenthood for getting COVID-19 relief loans. Chapter 26, give more of Congress's power to make trade agreements to the president. Chapter 27, abolish the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, which has saved consumers tens of billions of dollars. Chapter 28, limit content moderation on social media platforms. Leave hate speech alone. Chapter 29, take away the Federal Election Commission's power to prosecute election and campaign law violations. And Chapter 30, go after companies with ESG, DEI, and other corporate social responsibility programs. That's what's in Project 2025. That's what could be heading our way. And if you want more people to know what's in it, then share this bloody video with them, will you?
Till Saturday, I don't wanna go without, so I ask her to stay. Though she broke my heart in a million ways, but I'm putting that aside now. I'ma feel alright now, happy just as long as she's with me. I've been trying my luck every day of the week, yeah. When my baby works up, always down every weekend. No, I love her too much, but I just can't get enough. She's slipping through the cracks.
Stay and just repeat it now. Yeah, oh, we dream about all things being alright, but we freeze when it's all up to us. So let's fight it, make a stand and try it. Everything will matter from now on. Everything will matter from now on, 'cause it's high tide. And I know that it's alarming, yeah. 'Cause time is running out, and we can't just stay and watch it, no. Oh, we dream about all things being alright, but we freeze when it's all up to us. So let's fight it, make a stand and try it. Everything will matter from now on. Matter from now on. Let's fight it, there's no way to hide it, 'cause everything will matter from now on, 'cause it's high tide. No matter from now on.
Sunlight that always stays. Dinner by the waterway. It's that sweet life. Raise your cross. Made some dude crack a smile. He asked if I could stay a while. I'm living that high life. Time to catch a flight, but you can make me go. Unlocking all the memories of my new home. Ventilated echoes playing to and fro. Back and forth, yeah. Caught some kids dancing in the alleyway. Crazy how the melodies began to play, yeah. Tell me how you feel it when you hear the lyric, yeah. My heart's in Stockholm. Now I never wanna go home. I left my heart in Stockholm. Now I never wanna go home. Shopping the girl, I brought a girl on my Vespa. She said I already told ya, yeah. I never dated a black guy. I said you're brown yourself. Let me offer help. Come on inside. Where everybody knows your name, everybody knows your name. Time to catch a flight, but you can make me go. Unlocking all the memories of my new home. Ventilated echoes playing to and fro. Back and forth, yeah. Caught some kids dancing in the alleyway. Crazy how the melodies began to play, yeah. Tell me how you feel it when you hear the lyric, yeah. My heart's in Stockholm. Now I never wanna go home. I left my heart in Stockholm. Now I never wanna go home. Summer to love. Sunlight that always stays. Dinner by the waterway. It's that sweet life, sweet life, sweet life. I never wanna go home, go home. I'm living in Stockholm, Stockholm. I never wanna go home, go home.
Here is not going to stop when it comes to these type of discussions. It's going to be for us and by us here on this platform when the media is telling us to look the other way. Your support is what helps us move forward. Join patreon.com/like it or not. Help us grow.
Like it or not, y'all. Y'all know what time it is. It's time for like it or not. We're about to let's start this damn show. Yes, it's time for like it or not. We're about to let's start this damn show like it or not. Rebecca Zora's in the house. You know she got a funny story to tell. Talking politics, culture, or real life-ish. I live in life in the ATL. Benjamin, yeah, that's my man. He's always coming up with the master plan. Politics, scheming, or trying to find the meaning of life. And while the feds keeps us in strife. I'm your DJ. I really don't need no introduction right now, but you know what? I stay dropping them jams. Y'all know who I am. Good hope, dad jokes, culture-ish, politics. What you're hearing right now was the culmination of all of this. I started out with the mic in my hand, and I graduated to a plethora of fans. I love bringing joy to the people. It makes me feel great, makes me feel regal. I do what I do for you. I do what I do for you. Let's go. It's time for Like It or Not. With Rebecca Azor. Let's start this damn show. Yes, it's time for Like It or Not. With Rebecca Azor. Let's start this damn show. Let's start this damn show. Let's go.
Like It or Not starts now.
Good afternoon, and good afternoon. This is definitely not what you all expected. Oh, there she is.
All right, let me make sure everything is good. Camera is good, yes, and sound is coming from the right place.
It sounds good. Rebecca Zor, how are you?
I am good. How are you doing? Welcome to Like It or Not, where we're free to tell the truth.
And not care who doesn't like it.
Benjamin P. Dixon.
Rebecca Azor, you guys caught me in the middle of transition to a green screen, and I haven't had a chance to finish everything. So here I am.
Oh my goodness. I see that green screen behind you. Are you still in the same location? Just put the green screen up?
Same location. Just put a green screen up for some other projects that I'm doing, and didn't quite have enough time to turn the camera back over there to my corner. So Today you guys get a green screen.
Well, how are you doing today as I try to get my stuff to be rolling? How are you doing today?
I'm good. I'm looking at my lighting. I'm probably going to work on my lighting a little bit more because I'm a little darker than usual.
Did we already roll the intro?
Yeah, we ran the intro. You came.
David, if you can roll it one more time and give us an opportunity to just adjust some things really quickly.
You look great, though. Everything is good on our side.
Well, it's here on this side. This computer is like, and I just want to make sure it doesn't on this episode. David, run that intro one more time really quickly, and we will be right back with you in a few moments. It's going to be for us and by us here on this platform when the media is telling us to look the other way. Your support is what helps us move forward. Join patreon.com/like it or not. Help us grow.
Like it or not, y'all. Y'all know what time it is. It's time for Like It or Not. With Rebecca Azor. Let's start this damn show. Yes, it's time for Like It or Not. With Rebecca Azor. Let's start this damn show. Like It or Not. Rebecca Azor is in the house. You know she got a funny story to tell. Talking politics, culture, or real life-ish. I live in life in the ATL. Benjamin, yeah, that's my man. He's always coming up with the master plan. Politics, scheming, or trying to find the meaning of life. And while the feds keeps us in strife. I'm your DJ. I really don't need no introduction right now, but you know what? I stay dropping them jams. Y'all know who I am. Good hope, dad jokes, culture-ish, politics. What you're hearing right now was the culmination of all of this. I started out with the mic in my hand, and I graduated to a plethora of fans. I love bringing joy to the people. It makes me feel great, makes me feel regal. I do what I do for you. I do what I do for you. Let's go. It's time for Like It or Not. With Rebecca Let's start this damn show. It's time for like it or not. With Rebecca Azor. Let's start this damn show. Let's start this damn show. Let's go.
Like It or Not starts now.
All right, there we go. You all right, Ben?
I'm good.
All right, good. All right.
I look like I'm about to take a mug shot.
It's giving it. There comes the men in black. Men in black.
Rebecca, you're looking glamorous today.
Thank you. Thank you. It's when you're on a budget, you figure out you know how to do your hair. It's that moment. Like, you know how to do these things, Rebecca. It's expensive when you ain't got a penny to do it. Then you be like, you know what? I'm a kitchen beautician. I've told you guys this before. Some of my best looks that y'all love is kitchen beautician. It's out of the salon Rebecca Azor in Le Toilette avec, with all of my stuff, the mirror, the hair, took the braids out because baby, we was hanging on by a thread. We was hanging on, man. We was hanging on. Like the days and the hours and the minutes up until the election.
Look here. This is I can't wait till tomorrow's over. I cannot wait till we either are dealing with, I mean, Lord knows I want Kamala Harris to win, but I would just rather this be over with at this point.
Yeah. At this point, Ben, I'm right on the same mindset as you. It's not, I've done my part this weekend, before this weekend on the show. We've already talked about and pushed and, not even in a sense, when you're on this show and you're speaking with us, we're telling you the facts, and the facts usually align with the reasons why you shouldn't vote for Donald Trump. So let's be clear. But even on my personal page, I really, really want to be clear. I want to be clear with the fact that I've said this on our episode on Friday, I want to say it was. I said this on Leftist Mafia, but let's be clear. Okay? Please do not, if you know me from this show, from the beginning of when we did Like It or Not, I love you. Thank you for supporting us and following us. But if you know me from high school, on my Facebook, and that's where our friendship has been. If I've never talked to you a day in my life, I am not that person that I was when I was 17 years old, doing the TV news at that school.
It sounds like somebody tried it.
Yeah, a lot of people. As the election nears, because we're literally tomorrow, and people have gone into my DMs and have approached me in such a vicious manner. People that I've known at some point, people that I've dated at some point, people that I consider family, people who are blood. And some of them have come at me with questions, and I just gave them links and they go and do as they may, right? Some other people are like, you don't even effing know, how dare you just come in and I'm like, do I know you? And before I see them three bubbles popping up, I allow it to pop up, and before they can hit send, they're blocked. My block ministry.
Hang on, let me make sure I understand what you're saying. So, as a result of what you say and what you shared and what you do, people from your past feel like they have the right to come at you in your private messages, and they come at you pretty nasty, it sounds like.
Absolutely. So mean, so nasty, so rude, as Nene from the Housewives would say. But I don't know y'all. And on my page, and as for my page, we're going to say our personal views on my page. Y'all hear it here, but I would never pressure anybody and tell them which way to vote. I'm gonna tell you how I believe and whatever when we're talking on the show, but on my personal page, it's about what I'm doing. And outside of that, I post facts. And outside of that, I post videos with your person of interest, saying things that I didn't say, they said it out of their mouth, whether if it was Kamala and whether it was Donald Trump, whether it was nobody, Jill Stein. We literally, like, anything that I posted has been that. And we on the show, we always play a video as well that shows these people saying what they say. So for people who don't follow me, and these people who think that they know me and they have access to me in that way, you don't come to my DMs. You will be blocked. Do not come to my DMs for everything. For anything, excuse me, especially when it comes to politics. And if you are going to come to me for anything, if questions, that I'm here, I'm free. Y'all know me, how I roll, but do not disrespect me. Somebody came in there saying, of course you would vote for her. And then after we vote for her, we'll have some trans person in office. And after that, I got somebody who was like telling me, how dare you? He didn't do those things that you're saying he did, literally off of a video.
These are black people, aren't they?
Black. Ooh, some of them immigrants.
Huh?
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm trying my best to resist the urge to want these people to get what they're begging for. God, forgive me for that, because you know what I mean? Part of me is like, you ignorant blanks.
Yeah.
And by blanks, I don't mean profanity. I mean, fill in the blank. You ignorant black person who's supporting Donald Trump. I almost hope that you get exactly what he is saying he's going to do to black people, but then that would include me. That would include you, Rebecca.
Absolutely.
So I have to hold back that desire.
So we got to hold back. And it's so interesting. People think that, what's so funny is black people have been carrying this country. And with politics, with a lot of different things, people think that we're not tired. No, we are tired, but we know that if we don't vote or do anything or speak or do any of this stuff that affects us mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, financially, we don't do these things, then it crumbles. It crumbles. And so we have to keep doing this. So the people who don't watch, who probably aren't watching right now, but go off of what I post in my stories. And y'all know that my Instagram got 5 people on it, and it's really just for me. So with that being said, all of that traffic that came from people who I don't speak to or anything like that, and I didn't even respond to anybody because I'm not in that place in my life anymore. But just to see the buildup of hate, the Dr. Umar verbiage spewing out of some of their mouths, the evangelist, the white evangelist, speaking, protruding from these DMs. And I'm like, I cannot and I will not stick to people thinking that they have access to me for whatever reason. If you knew me when I was 17 years old, I am now 34. That's 17 years ago. Please do not play with this grown woman. So block ministry is real, just like I do with my exes. So don't even know how this ex slipped through the cracks. Must have made a new page. But again, so this weekend I went to a Kamala Harris rally. Beautiful. Amazing. I'm used to getting the hate online when I post anyway. When I post in places that I prominently post, those types of things, which is going to be in the YouTube space or however. But it's just so interesting. And we know the hate comes. We've had worse, to be honest. But just seeing how people are that you love or that or that literally people that have been in the same space with you, you'll see them secretly like a post that is not for the cause. But yet when you guys are in the same room or in the same sphere, it's a different story. So I'm like, we got to really be careful. But I've seen that before this whole election, but seeing that online is interesting. I've seen somebody whom I respect constantly post things that are to tell people to vote and for this certain person or why they need to vote for this certain person. But then in the same breath, continue things that don't help the cause. And like saying things against the same person they're saying to vote for, that is not helping. And I think so close to it right now, we have to understand that voting for Kamala Harris does not mean that we stop the work.
That's right.
Or we stop holding our leaders accountable.
Yeah.
Where am I getting that from? Because we're used to doing that, or because this party is known for doing that? We're not going to do that this time. That's what we're saying. Or, excuse me, we shouldn't do that this time. The same criticisms that are dire that are about our livelihoods as Americans are still going to be there. But this is politics. And the same way that you guys didn't hold Joe Biden to a lot of these things that we're holding Kamala Harris to, I think needs to be also said that it's because she's a woman. There's a lot of misogyny, misandry. I'm just learning that one on the woman's side too. Stuff that has already been instilled in us, so we automatically look at her and expect her to do way more than what a normal politician who's running does.
Yes.
Go ahead. Sorry about that.
No, I'm listening to you. Preach, Rebecca. I was going to say a black woman at that. The fact that she is polling less with black people than Hillary Clinton did.
It's crazy. However, she's higher than she was when she was first running a few years ago. So
right.
we can point that out.
But it's
crazy.
It's crazy. It's crazy and just reflective of how much black people generally.
Ads on my videos.
Huh? Was that on my side or what was that?
That was on. That was we working some things out. I want to say.
David. Okay. That threw me off.
It did too. Who's the white man?
I'm like, no. It didn't sound like the white man we work with.
It didn't sound like that one.
Welcome back, David. By the way, I'm so glad to have David at the helm producing because we were going through when I was trying to produce in real time.
No, you were really great. You were doing great. Not the handkerchief.
I've been preaching, Rebecca. I've been preaching.
It's given.
I've been. We preach now. It was so funny. I heard you talking about people in these evangelical mindsets. Man, they are so lost. They don't even realize that they are following behind a man who's not smart enough to be the Antichrist, right? So I'm not calling Donald Trump the Antichrist, but this MAGA Christian nationalism is a system of the Antichrist. And so many people who think they're following Jesus are following right behind idolatry. They're following behind a man who is the exact opposite, policies that are the exact opposite. They want to point at people's sexuality and people's gender identification and say that's why you shouldn't vote for Kamala. But they look at a man who raped somebody and said, oh, we're going to vote for him. It's a man who treats immigrants the exact opposite that Jesus said treat them. They're going to vote for them. They are complete people who are following him like a cult, people who literally bow down at a golden image of Donald Trump. And they want to talk to us about us voting for Kamala Harris as Christians. Yeah. They are so lost. They don't even realize they're the bad guys in the book of Revelation. So to all those people in your comment section, they probably have like a really paper thin relationship with the Lord.
Not only with the Lord, it's funny. It's like you guys have a paper thin relationship with yourself and your children, because there's no way that you would be voting for somebody whose interests are not for you or your children or your family, your life, your livelihood, just on the basis of her being a woman. Somebody mentioned the period. Somebody mentioned menopause. Somebody mentioned the fact that mood swings. And I'm like, all of this is dripping in misogyny because you don't see how a woman can lead yet when a woman has literally been the one holding this country together. Women have been doing that many a time, have saved elections, or so many times they're trying to discredit. And I'm like, we got to push that to the side. I got the chance on Saturday to witness her live. It was such a beautiful moment. But you can tell sis is not stopping. She's going from city to city. I've been in Atlanta how many times in the last few weeks? And just to know that she's working just as hard as anybody else, but if harder. She came out a few months ago, if that. And now we're already here. It feels like these few months have been a year, but the reality is we had this much time to start doing, to do the cleanup about things that were said about her, things that I've said about her, but to now align with the truth. Right. But still things that are true, or we can say, once she gets in office, here's what we need. It doesn't stop like that with your leader. Y'all got to put that in your mind. Donald Trump has told you guys many a time, some of the things he said giving officers immunity. We know our black Americans, black people's relationship with law enforcement here in this country. Stated that he would take away funding for college students or for
Right.
schools where
Right.
they're learning about slavery, which is
That's right.
true, right? A true history within the United States that they don't want us to talk about anymore. DEI, a lot of funding that goes to certain marginalized communities, want to remove that, and some schools already in Florida have started undoing that already with Ronald DeSantis as governor. Abortion, we see how in 2 seconds they brought the 6 week ability to the ability to get abortions at 6 weeks for critical reasons, and then immediately took that away in 2 seconds before we could blink our eye. Funding for your for your education. Remember, we finally thought we had an opportunity a little bit. We like, oh, okay, Joe Biden finally, it's working. We finally got the opportunity for us to get our loans forgiven, and possibly some amount of it. Immediately, that was what, a month ago, 2 months ago? Before we can look, it was up at like 6 p.m., 6:30, it was already, they already did the work. They already took it away. This is what, and this is just a little bit, this is surface. There's so many other things that Donald Trump has said he will do away with, and they've already started in different states like Georgia, like Florida, like Texas. They've already gone with this. Project 2025. Sorry. I just got a lot to say today.
Well, yeah. Have you voted yet? And if not, I know you're voting tomorrow then.
So I absolutely voted last week. I was one of the earlier voters on the last day, just like me, right? I was one of the earlier voters, and I was excited to get in and get out. I know a lot of people yesterday. I have a video of my not yesterday, Saturday. I have a video of me going to the Kamala Harris rally, which was really smooth. Lots of people, and it was really, really smooth. I love that about it. There were people who were protesting out there. I've seen other people protesting for people protesting in the name of Donald Trump, and people protesting Palestinians for Palestinian rights, and for us to remove ourselves, of course. And so that I seen out there. And then I was asking people when they were going to vote. There was one woman in particular. She has a business with snow cones, New Orleans. I want to say it's out in Lithonia.
Lithonia, where they
Fat man snow cones or something like that out in Georgia. And I asked her, was she going to vote? She said, yes, I'm going to vote on election day, just on time. So she wants to be, in the moment with everybody. My nail guy, my nail tech, he was asking me like, I registered, but they never sent anything to me. And I had to explain to him, I said, we live in a city that is very big on voting, right? Where we are at predominantly white. Wherever you go, it's Trump, 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 Trump. Call this particular number. Let them know that you're ready to vote. Do not tell them who you're voting for, how you're trying to vote, but just call this number and, make sure that you're registered, because what you will see a lot of times is voter suppression in this way, where people who are voting for the first time don't have any idea, any clue, and they will be given nothing, no answers or anything like that. So I gave him a number to call because there are resources. And he wrote me today and said, thank you so much. He is now registered and he will be voting on tomorrow. Okay, because we outside, we getting people to vote.
That's right.
I volunteered also on the day of for about an hour for people to help people sign up to vote. So I've been trying to do my thing with that. And so yeah, I've already voted. You already voted, Ben?
No, but we are going tomorrow as a crew. You know how we do. We're gonna make a whole little caravan of it. And,
I love it. I love it. And see, that's what I know tomorrow is going to bring. If you guys are working any corporate jobs, hey, they got hours for y'all to vote.
That's right.
Do not let them tell you cannot vote. You guys are given, I think, 2 to 4 hours to go and vote. So make sure you align yourselves with your manager or whoever, and make sure they do not take that away from you. I remember 2020, they tried to tell me I couldn't go vote. They did. They said that I couldn't go vote. The woman was like, can you go outside of work hours? My work hours are from the morning to the night. And I said, no, I'm going to go and vote. And that year, me and my sister, we volunteered as well. So I didn't want to tell her I was volunteering, and then I wouldn't have been able we voted early and I went to volunteer. So you do get hours to vote. You do.
That's right.
You get hours to vote.
They don't like to admit it on most jobs.
Mhm.
Especially the corporate jobs, kind of like the one you just came from. They don't like to admit that you can take that time and go, but you can do that. So listen, I was talking to Dr. Mack, and I know you were talking to him as well recently, and he was asking me, how do I feel about it? And I'm going to be honest with you, Rebecca, I haven't been able to express hope for tomorrow. Today was the first day that I actually expressed some hope because I saw the polling come out of Iowa. I don't know if you saw that.
I saw that.
Kamala Harris is up 3 points in Iowa, still within the margin of error. But considering that Joe Biden lost as well as 2016, the last 2 times Donald Trump won by 10 points in Iowa. And something has happened in that state where not only did they make up those 10 points, actually they made up 14 points. She's up by 3. And it's so improbable, like for Kamala Harris to win Iowa.
Yeah.
And it just really says that there is a very silent group of people out there that aren't with this MAGA mess. They as loud as MAGA is, there are a lot of people who ain't saying nothing, but they go into the voting booths.
Absolutely. That somebody was saying it's like people secretly going, to make sure that they don't say, but they still represent out and about that they're, hey, I'm MAGA, but then be in the voting booths like, he ain't taking away my abortion rights. He ain't taking what I secretly, want to love the same sex. I don't want no issues with that. All them people. Okay. I seen a interview with, I talked about this actually on the show where there was a man who was questioning Donald Trump and he's voted for him many a time. And he's like, nah, now you're going a little reckless here. Can you tell me why you said X, Y, and Z? And he's like, no, I didn't do that. Everybody loves me. That was Donald Trump's response to his avid supporter. Hey, no, everybody loves me. I don't know what you're talking about. Everyone loves me. Billions of people love me. And that's what he was going off of. Instead of being a credible leader, representative, it was more so how much everybody loves me, what he looks like on television and all those kind of things. And that's not what we want as a leader. That can't be. It can't be. Did you see then? I didn't get a chance to discuss that with you. Him coming out as a garbage man.
I saw that foolishness.
After the garbage statements, and this is what they try to do, flip it.
Right.
They the ones that started at his rally with the comedian that said
Puerto Rico.
Puerto Rico is a floating island of garbage.
Right.
And then
Joe Biden said, no, your mama's garbage.
Basically, and that's not verbatim, but yeah, basically. And then he was like, oh, wow, I too represent the garbage man. We're all garbage. And put it on and couldn't even open a garbage truck.
Right, almost fell.
He decked out the garbage truck, right? And then couldn't even open it. Yet, I think it was yesterday, you see Tim Walz hopping up and down the stairs, hopped off the jet, right up some stairs and onto the mic.
Tim Walz got what's that Energizer Bunny. That man is wired, but I love him. I'm glad one of the best decisions I've seen Kamala make. But yes, compare that to Donald Trump stumbling and almost busting his face. And I was watching Sean Hannity, not live, I was watching clips. Sean Hannity didn't realize that he kept playing the same part of Donald Trump almost falling and busting his face over and over and over
as
again.
B-roll?
Oh my, in B-roll. They just sitting there talking. I'm sitting there cracking up. Like, y'all don't realize this man is almost dead. Not for me anyway. Let me stop.
Oh Lord. Yeah, he's praise Jesus.
Yeah,
yes. Now, let's get into a little bit of conversation about these. I don't know if you've seen it, but a lot of people now coming out as last minute, which is fine. I don't, because again, it's okay because at this point, is it okay though? But we'll talk about it. Sexy Red came out and said she don't want nobody telling her what to do, and viewer discretion is advised. Sorry for my language; it's not a bad word, but this is what Sexy Red said. She don't want nobody telling nobody. I don't want nobody telling me what to do with my coochie. Vote for Kamala.
Okay, after all the see here and see, it's tomorrow, so I can finally say this. And God forgive me, and black folk forgive me too, but not for real, because y'all know what I'm about to say. They represent a group of black folks that wasn't even gonna get up and go vote anyway. So she late to the party, but all the time she spent supporting Donald Trump, most of her supporters ain't gonna get up and go vote. Why? How we know? Because we've been trying to get that demographic, that generation, to get up and go vote for decades. They ain't done it yet. Now I'd be surprised. Now I rebuke myself. I hope that don't happen tomorrow. I hope they don't show up and prove me wrong.
And it's funny because I think that she actually has influenced people how they're going to vote or how the conversations are going to go. But I understand what you're saying too. Absolutely. But this Generation Z, look, I sound old. They go off of who their favorites are, what their favorites are saying. We thought that was really something that worked for our generation, but we knew after Beyonce done put that hat on, I always go to that because people forget when she put that hat on in Texas for Beto and he did not win immediately after. Let's be for real. So, but I will say for these people, like it's people who go to these artists who feel like pander, but she sat on multiple occasions have spoken to and said, I ain't even voting. I don't even do politics after she was questioned about her comments on that. I want to say alt-right or I want to say far right. I don't know the man, but he gives me those folks. And told him like, Trump cool. Remember we and I always mention it on the show because it is ridiculous. Trump is cool. He gave us a check.
$1,200.
Y'all gonna die on that $1,200, and again, it was almost denied and absolutely delayed. That $1,200 check.
You preaching? That's a sermon right there.
And here you guys are ready to die on that hill. Meanwhile, because of that $1,200.
$1,200. Like, don't get me wrong. Somebody want to drop me $1,200. Send half to Rebecca and then the other half to me. We want it. Good. God bless you. But are you that cheap that you are going to change your opinion about everything over $1,200? You're going to support a man who is endorsed by the KKK both in 2016 as well as today for $1,200. You're going to support police brutality because this man is going to give 100% immunity to police officers to do whatever the hell they want to black folks for $1,200. You're going to help end democracy over $1,200. I know these are hard times and everybody could use a little bit of change, but if you can't hold the line on some integrity, then what are we even doing here? What caliber? This is the thing. I'll be quiet after this. These are kind of caliber people that you don't really want around you anyway at the end of the day. So I'm glad that they are exposing themselves now because not everybody's skin to us is kin to us, Rebecca. I need to know all these folks who supporting Donald Trump so that when we have our private meetings and secret meetings about how we going to get liberation, we need to be able to spot them and their kin folks. Their entire lineage needs to be marked with the fact that they sold out for $1,200.
Absolutely. And you know why we need to remember them? Because they played the field. They didn't play the field. They chose for all of this time. And the day before, so you didn't know that he was trying to tell you what to do with your body?
All this time. He's been saying it. They've been saying it. That's the number one thing MAGA wants is to control women's bodies. And now you just realizing it. See?
Let's be for real. So like I said, it's problematic. We'll go with it because a vote, everybody's vote matters. But this whole thing, let's talk about this one, Bam, of voting third party and acting like that's a real conversation.
Oh, I'm so glad that this election is almost over because of that right there, Rebecca. Zora, I'm sorry.
I've never seen, all of a sudden y'all voting green like Ben's background.
And this is crazy. You gonna bring it up? You gonna make me say it like every time I upload the background image, my computer crashed. So here we go. It's green today, folks. Yes, go ahead,
it's
Rebecca.
fine. It's fine because no problem.
But back to the Green Party, hard. Yes.
But back to the Green Party, right? I'm absolutely appalled that people keep bringing it up. I'm like, y'all know that the main people that you need to be voting for are either Donald Trump or Kamala Harris. You're acting like that. Jill Stein was a part of the conversation at some point. She was not. Her and her weirdo vice president pick. I say that because
where
Yes, Butch Ware.
Butch.
And
Okay.
Butch Ware, who has literally did videos strangely talking about how their party, they right, they're, don't you hate when people call you racist if you believe in a certain thing, to Republicans?
Wait. That almost went right past me because I'm trying to repost this link here.
When he was working out in that one video, and if you can find that, beloved, because we played it, I seen it the other day when I was talking with Olay, but Butch Ware is working out and he's talking about, aren't you tired of the Democrat Party telling you guys, and he's talking to Republicans or conservatives, the right, how to vote or what to believe in, calling you racist for what you believe in. We don't do that here. We don't do that here. I'm like, wait a minute. So you're not calling what they're standing up for, the people at these rallies, that's low-key KKK rallies, so they join this party so they can get out of saying that they ain't racist?
And also, he's endorsing that. Go ahead.
Also, there was some older clips of him that have went out, and Olay actually has since put out there, the same way you did with Bloomberg, same way she did with the mayor of NYC, Mayor Eric Adams. But she did that with Butch Ware a few, like last week, where she put out a series of tweets, I think, or videos that he put out saying that he was anti-abortion, saying he was anti all these different things. And a lot of the people who are trying to vote for him are pretty much a part of these, are pretty much people who have been benefited from abortions or are pro-abortion or whatever. So why are you voting for Jill Stein if y'all going so hard about this? I haven't seen anybody mention her, and I would love to tell you guys, I haven't heard this name since 2017, I want to say, or whenever that was.
That was it.
And I do not there's been nothing that this person has done in between time, in the meantime, to represent a strong party, but get the money. And she's been under investigation in the Green Party for taking coins that were never utilized for what they were supposed to be utilized for.
That's right. 2016, she started a recount campaign, raised money for a recount, and she teased as if she was doing it on behalf of Hillary Clinton, and that caused a whole lot of money to come her way, and she did not nary recount. And someone did a statistical analysis of her timeline. She literally only shows up for election years, and it's not as though she's doing anything off scene. Maybe some people don't do everything online, some people do stuff offline. Now she disappears every 4 years, and every 4 years we have to deal with her because she puts up this argument of there's, why vote for the lesser evil when you can vote for the greater good, when the greater good can't even get 1% of the vote over the last 20 years. Nope. It's not a greater good. It's Boo Boo the Fool.
Boo Boo and who is Boo Boo the Fool? I'm not one of your little friends. Okay. And now we grown. Oh, the millennials was young then, trying to figure out things, whatever. Baby, we done been through life.
Oh Lord.
We done been through life. And if you think I'm Boo Boo the Fool, baby, I need to know what my future is going to look like. I need to know where I'm about to be. I need to know how I'm going to feed my kids that I haven't had yet. If something were to happen to me and I need some kind of medical anything that has to do with my reproductive system, I know I can get it and not go to jail. A woman just died recently because they wouldn't give her the proper necessary procedure because I think that she was having a miscarriage. It's like the third case that we've heard about, probably more. But there were 2 out of Georgia. So we know who these affect the most. And it's always Black and brown people that we see that are going to be affected by all of these laws. They're going to be affected gravely by what Donald Trump is coming at
for generations to come. And this is the thing, Rebecca. It's like we are already living with what Donald Trump did in 2016 to 2020, right? We're still living with that right now today, but we're going to be living with it even longer because of his Supreme Court picks that somebody said it didn't even really matter back in 2016, Bree Joy. But here we are dealing with that with Roe versus Wade. And for him to get another chance, we're really talking about solidifying a block of white supremacy a block of anti-immigrism, immigrants, a block of just the most obscene giveaway to the richest people on the face of this planet. And this is what is so funny to me about the people who think they're doing something voting for the Green Party. You are literally empowering the very greed and capitalism that you claim to stand against so hard. He's already said he wants to make the situation in Gaza worse. He's already said that, right? And so you feel good about it because you don't have to vote for the party that is responsible or backing and funding it right now. Okay, great. But now you're going to empower the man who wants to go in there and finish them,
Yeah.
right? And they love the Green people who support Jill Stein and Butch Ware. As a Buck Ware or Butch Ware?
Butch Ware.
Did you just throw a filter on there? No, go back to the other lighting. Go back.
Right. This ain't lighting. This is just me without lighting. This is me, no filter.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
Right. I was thinking the same thing. Lately, the girls online, that's my skin. That's me. This is me. Right.
Yeah. But anyway,
the
back
light
to
was
Buck.
given too yellow for me. It wasn't. I had to turn that off. It's nighttime. We gotta get
that balances. Look at that. Sometimes the light don't. Maybe I cut my light off. Maybe make me look bit better. But anyway, back to Butch and Book Ware. They really think they're doing something, but they absolutely cannot stand up to any critical analysis of what they are, what they do, and what they cannot accomplish, and what they've never achieved over the last 10 years. Right?
Yeah.
Even in the comment section right now, the people who are melting down, like, oh my gosh, you're blue MAGA. Blah, blah, blah. Oh my gosh, you're doing, no, we're just speaking the absolute truth about who and what Jill Stein has always been. Now, the Green Party in general, I won't say that about them, especially not globally. I respect for what the Green Party has done in Europe in particular. But in the United States, they have not achieved anything.
Mm-hmm.
And I would love to actually have an alternative to the Democratic Party, but we don't have it.
Let's be for real. This is the facts. But here in the US, you guys are focusing on the work that the Green Party does in other countries. But we have to call a thing a thing. And the thing is, absolutely nothing has been done by the Green Party. Do you know? A lot of people didn't even know what they stood for. A lot of them didn't even know. And I say that it was the Green Party debate because everybody knows about the Green Party debate. They're the most popular when it comes to third party. Y'all didn't even know a debate was going on. Y'all didn't watch it. So when I posted that damn video, so many people who are claiming to be the third party voters didn't even know it was going on. That video got 8.8 million views. I wish I was monetized on the TikToks that could pay the rent. But
your video got 8 million views on TikTok?
Though 8.8 million views on my little TikTok. Where the lady was singing. They were like, I didn't even know this is real. Didn't even know that this party or the third party has do the presidential debate. Didn't know anything about it. That's because y'all ain't really trying to vote for them. You're doing it out of pure, just trying to say you're in opposition.
That's right.
You're standing up for this. I'd rather you not vote. You know what I'm saying? It's the same thing.
Same thing. Same literal thing. Same literal thing. And I actually don't care. You go and vote, but don't expect us to sit back while you posture yourself as the moral authority and you're as paper thin as these evangelicals who think that they're voting for Christ by voting for Trump. No, you guys are not. You have no moral high ground on this matter. You're not mature enough to handle the cognitive dissonance because it is tough. I'm not going to lie. One thing I'm so glad about is that I literally do not have to vote for Joe Biden, Genocide Joe, the man who went to Israel and stood next to Benjamin Netanyahu. Thank you, Lord, Father in heaven. I don't have to vote for that man. Because you know what? Kamala Harris couldn't stop it if she wanted to as vice president. There's nothing she could have done as vice president to initiate it or prevent it. And that's a fact. Now, you all can feel superior in your morality because you're going to vote for the greater good that will never manifest in the Green Party, in Jill Stein. But at the end of the day, you are empowering a man who wants to finish off Palestine.
Yeah.
And
then the woman who was formerly running, the woman of that party who was running months ago, Nancy Haley, whole family, America thinks that probably will blow this country up.
Nancy,
You know?
Nikki
Haley. Let me be
ain't
right.
even her real first name either way.
Ain't
Nikki
even
or
her-
Nancy.
Either way, you know what I'm saying? Nirmala, you know. So let's be for real.
Look at
So
that.
she went over there, wrote on the missile, and said, "Finish the job.
Finish them."
Republican Party, they ain't got no damn care. Nothing. So there are things definitely on both. Look, here I go, both sides. But let's be honest. I ain't even saying there's a lesser. One is evil. One is evil. Y'all acting like the man that's laying up with you right now, he probably ain't got no job. There are things wrong with this person, but you keep giving him a chance because you think he gonna change. But you acting like for your livelihood. For your livelihood. You can't go vote for somebody that you don't agree with on everything. You living with parents that you don't agree with on everything. Every day, my mama say stuff. I'm like, lady, now come on now. Please don't say that out in person. You know who your daughter is. Every day. My daddy, I'm like, sir, that's absolutely not. Why would you say that? That's wrong. But he's my daddy.
Yeah.
And honestly, Kamala Harris at this point, I'm not about to mamala her. But I am going to say I need a leader that we can have a chance with for change. We will not have any opportunity or chance with Donald Trump.
Can I say I was also need? Because this is the last thing I'm gonna say. I don't think, and I don't care if people understand the level of solidarity and pain. This thing I'm not even gonna lie, like it's not even about me at all, but there was a transformative moment in me when they started doing what they did to Gaza, right? But beyond Gaza, because I have to look at the whole picture. We're dealing with a party that does not believe in science. And why do I care about that? And why is that as significant to me as Gaza? It's because we're looking at historic storms every single week. Don't put me up here by myself. I ain't no Rebecca Zor. Bring her back up. We're looking at historic storms every single week. We look at what just happened in Spain. 200 people died, right? Because of a historic flooding. We're looking at people in North Carolina. We're looking at people on the east or west coast of Florida, historic storms back to back. We are at the cusp of climate disaster in a fashion that we will not recover from. We can barely recover now. And I don't expect Kamala Harris to come in and be a whole lot better than anybody else has been. But at least we are dealing with people who believe in science and won't just intentionally say that climate change is a hoax. A hoax. And I'm trying to leave a planet that my kids can live on after I'm gone. And y'all around here talking about the lesser evil, the greater good, the Green and Buck Ware and Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid and all them. Nah, man. We got to put somebody in power that actually believes that climate change is real. So for the love of God, my children aren't living in some Mad Max Road, Fury Road future.
That's all right, man.
That
I get it. We all have our reasons, but on tomorrow, we're voting with all these things in mind because we know that there's opportunity, there's wiggle room, there's chances there. We can do more. Putting Donald Trump in office, we will be silenced.
Hunted down.
Yeah. And he said this, threatening our livelihoods. Again, I'm a product of, not only am I Black in this country, I am a Haitian American. I'm a product of immigrants, first generation. That means all, if not all, of my family outside of who is here is in Haiti. Okay. And some in the Dominican Republic and in Chile because they went there for asylum. So when they were pushed away under that bridge in Texas. So with that being said, knowing what he's said about immigrants,
Yeah.
knowing what he said about Black people, knowing what he said about women, knowing what he said about people who are trying to get an education that happen to be Black or brown. I remember us going through this whole thing when it was just solely focused on DACA, this is like another form of it, and some kind of, every year it changes and every year it's the same thing. Remember when it was Mexicans at the highlight of everything? That hasn't changed. They're still there. They just added other immigrants to be attacked the time.
That's right.
Donald Trump's hate for Haitians, hate for Mexicans is in the history. Hate for Native Americans, his hate for Puerto Ricans, or people didn't, again,
why would they just throw that out? Why would they just pull that out of all, just out of, ain't nobody even talking about Puerto Rico right now, right?
Puerto Rico is part of America.
And then they would just pull it out of thin air just to insult them. Sidebar, shout out to Omega Star. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday to you, Omega. Happy birthday.
Many more. And like they said, they asked, can they please vote blue all the way down the ballot, everybody, for the love of God. I don't even like half these Democrats, but would you please just keep MAGA out of power?
I had to look some of them up, like, let me see what this person doing in the background. Yeah, you think I don't know you, such and such and such and such state, in such and such county? Let me look at you, see what's going on right here. I purposely kept my made sure that my permanent address is where I voted, for sure, because I'm always there. And one thing about it, which is funny, where I am right now, these people are so big on voting. And I wish I would see that same community to be encouraged in other communities that look like us, and to be more encouraged instead of towards elections, when it's last minute, because these people are out there figuring out. Out here, people can walk around with their little drinks downtown or whatever because they voted for that. They like little things. They make sure that trash is not kept in the streets because they voted for that. Like, they literally vote. They know who their local leaders are. They go in, they make sure. And a lot of these other cities, people are not privy to that at all. You also, if you can make a change locally too with your vote.
Rebecca, we're gonna have to do a nighttime show. Because you got the city, like you got the city backdrop behind you, a little bit of a city, a little bit of
it's my city drop. It's a little country for real. It got mountains back there, and then it got that little strip of city. It ain't Atlanta skyline, but my skyline has the mountain, and it's beautiful every morning, honey.
Because you're talking about your community there and how they really just directly see the results of their voting, and that's
these white folks don't play about their voting.
They're trying to keep that from us.
Yeah, they are. They do not play. These people don't know anything that happens in Atlanta. They don't know any. They do not care because they're taking care of their little area, and the more they see us coming in, they're like, oh,
Mm-hmm.
So, but they all up and down the street, perfectly placed is Trump vans, perfectly placed. The little sign that I seen I told you for Harris Walz, I told you it's on one leg, crinkled up, a little wire hanging off the side. Somebody either beat it up, but that's the lowly little sign. Somebody came from another city and tried to put it right there to make the mark. But that's what I'm saying. We have to be how strong they are over there on that side, as far as how they will go vote. They don't give a damn. They're gonna vote. They're going to make sure. And as much as they have tried to suppress us and our ability to vote, we should be fighting harder to get to the polls.
Facts.
The polls.
Facts. But we got people telling us, especially the Black community, don't vote. Mm-hmm. Right? We have that every election cycle. We have
that whole man that was telling people to vote or die, went and started telling people to hold the vote. That's in 2020. That man in jail.
Yeah, as he should be. And then you have so many people who, when this election cycle is over and they do an autopsy, I think is the word, an autopsy of this election, especially a financial autopsy, you're going to see money that went to every single one of these rappers and these Black influencers you're going to see money that has gone directly to them from Donald Trump in order to tell you now the message has changed. These are some of the same people who told you not to vote before. Now they're saying, oh, vote, but vote for Donald Trump.
Yeah, vote for Donald Trump. And then, you know,
post-mortem. Thank you, Brian West.
It's a lot. It's so interesting to see how they've been doing this all. They didn't know that this was going to be the turn of events, a black woman. They thought there was going to be Joe Biden and Trump. So it was don't vote. And now it's like, oh, dang, now we look crazy. No, you know, you've been rocking and y'all been even making cases. It wasn't even like, let me just throw this little Trump hat on and take a picture.
Yes.
Y'all was online making cases. Y'all was online. We played a video on this channel. Dr. Umar said this on a Tuesday, and by the next Wednesday, he was flipping what he said about Donald Trump. He went from saying he won't vote for Donald Trump on the Breakfast Club in that black space. He went to another space, which I don't know what space that was, but it was different. And he went to that space and said Donald Trump, it's actually, you know, he actually won the election.
Yes, that part. Not only did this Negro turn and say, and then, wait, Rebecca, because now you're reminding me of that episode, because we were quite prolific on that episode, and we should have awards for that particular episode of nothing else. This Negro, Umar Johnson, started to promote nationalism, not black nationalism, which I'm not particularly a fan of anyway. I'm a fan of black power, right? But I'm not a fan of any form of nationalism. But that's not even what Umar Johnson flipped on. He started bragging about Donald Trump being a nationalist, trying to put America first. How, my Hotep brother, how is it that you go from being a Pan-African first, a black nationalist, and then say the reason you think Donald Trump is not liked is because he's a nationalist and he puts America first? That betrays every bit of your melanin, black man.
Black man. It's just you, again, walking in the absolute misogyny, walking in the, you know, money. You are following the money grift. You are walking that line so that you can continue to get your money. Because what schools are you talking about? The other day, I seen a clip going around. I'm talking about Dr. Umar. We ain't never, what school?
What school? What school, Umar?
Where are they registering?
That money's sitting in his bank account. That's where it is, literally.
He keeps saying, I would have about 6 schools right now if I had a wife beside me. I would have opened more schools. Where is the one?
Where is the first one? Where's the online school? Right? You didn't even have, I hope you get that clip. You didn't even have to do a physical school. You could have shown some initiative with an online school, brother. You didn't even do that, but you out here promoting Donald Trump's nationalism.
Can you pull that clip for us while we continue to speak? Because I really want people to see what I'm talking about, what we're seeing. Your favorites are lying to you. You guys are literally reciting them as Bible, going into my DM, sending me his quotes, yet you don't even know what he's saying in these platforms. I'm watching him too. I think he's hilarious.
Who's that?
The joke, Dr. Umar.
Oh, yeah.
Even your favorites like Charlemagne, who for months has hosted these rights, these people who have these terrible views that sometimes are full-on lies, and allowed them to come on there without debunking these things, because you don't have any knowledge, but you're letting them come there and sit there and be like, wow, didn't even know that. And yet they're lying about these things. They're lying about these things. And here we are promoting this, and then only for you to go somewhere else and act like your own platform. Here I am talking about Charlemagne. Absolutely love that you called out CNN, but your platform does the same thing.
Yep.
You want to say call Donald Trump a fascist? You sit there and allow fascists to sit there and have conversations with you on behalf of black people.
Byron Donalds, big black fascist. That's what he is.
Why are you playing? Roll the clip, beloved. Roll the clip.
Well, I think he needed a second to get. I think he meant he found the clip, but he's gonna pull it up in a hot second. I'm just, you know, so no, Dr. Umar Johnson is no longer part of the black delegation. I'm sorry.
Is he not? Because the men and the women who are a part of that a few, those delegations, which I feel like have been really, they're weaponizing it. The Foundation of Black Americans or whatever it's called. And then that's the one where okay, play this one. Hold on. Before we play this one,
you want the other
remember, because we played it a few times on the show where Dr. Umar sat on the Breakfast Club and literally stated, if you got that one too, please roll it, because we ain't lying about this. Literally said that he was not going to vote for any of the parties. He ain't voting for none one of them, and why he wouldn't vote for Donald Trump in particular, because he was racist and what he stood for and all the stuff. Let's listen to what he said after the Breakfast Club interview, and I think just a week or two or whatever later, he said this.
Crank that, soldier boy.
The problem is Donald Trump is so popular. See, Donald Trump is a nationalist, Art. They don't want a nationalist. They don't want someone who's looking out for the best interests of America. They want someone who's looking out for the best interests of the global elites. And that is the Democrats. The question is, are they willing to cheat Trump out of the election and risk a full-scale revolt by poor white America?
You scared? Say you scared.
That is the question. Are we willing to risk a social catastrophe if Donald Trump is cheated out of the election? In my opinion, Art, I believe he's the front runner. Even though they're reporting that Kamala has a slight edge, I'm not buying it. I believe Donald Trump is the front runner, and I believe he won the last election. I believe he beat Joe Biden, but got cheated. Lying. And it don't make a difference to me who wins, because none of them care about black folks. I want to be clear about that. But I believe he beat Joe Biden.
All of that.
If he gets cheated again, I cannot see white America taking this laying down if he gets cheated again.
With his whole
are they willing to risk
with the hat
a civil war, a potential civil war in this country if he's cheated again?
He's literally promoting and utilizing the same language, but in AAVE with the accent, with the blackness. He's saying the same exact things that they're basically dog whistling at the Trump rallies.
That's right. That's right. He's out here telling black folks to be afraid of white folks. Listen,
absolutely.
Look.
When he's always telling us to revolt, right? He's saying he's saying black folks must revolt, we must do. But you're literally giving them a pass. You said you believe that Donald Trump won the last election. Go ahead, Ben. I'm sorry.
No. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have interrupted you because you were saying something better than me. I was just pointing out that he's doing this in his Hotep hat. Like he is literally laundering white supremacy into the black community while wearing a Malcolm X jersey shirt, hoodie, whatever that was, sweater.
And now I would love for you guys to hear him just a few weeks earlier on the Breakfast Club, where he said that the people who support Donald Trump suffer from slave master syndrome. Let's take a listen.
What do you think about, blacks loving Donald Trump so much?
Slave master syndrome, white Jesus syndrome. We don't care if the white Jesus wears red or blue. We don't care what side of the aisle that they're on. Black America suffers from battered spouse syndrome envy. And what battered spouse syndrome speaks to is the fact that no matter how bad you beat me up, if I believe I need you in order to survive, I'm never going anywhere. And part of our problem, part of the equation to our problem as American Africans, why we don't do anything on our own, is we are often waiting for the great white savior to come. This is a message that has been rehearsed for us in church. We get it in the media. We get it in the black community. So black people will never, ever abandon their hope of a white savior coming to save them. Donald Trump has no record whatsoever of saving black folks. When people ask me, who you going to vote for? At this point, neither one of them are going to get my vote. I considered Cornel West because I love Dr. West, intelligent, strong, good-natured, but so he can't get my vote. Now, when I come back to Donald Trump and Joe Biden, I look at the fact that Donald Trump signed 13 federal death executions while he was president. More than half of them was signed after Joe Biden won the election. Think about that now. Biden gets elected in November, sworn in January. Between that time, Donald Trump executes half of those 13 people. 5 of them were black men. and 2 of those black men were presumed innocent, and their attorneys had introduced a stay of execution to the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court turned them down, and Donald Trump executed those brothers. So when I hear black men say I'm voting for Donald Trump because he's going to bring more money and economic vitality into the black community, I say, what about the fact that he's out here killing black folks, you understand, without no remorse at all? So you got to look at that. You also got to look at the fact that Donald Trump wants to give police 100% immunity.
That's right.
Wait a minute. Look how they're killing us now.
Right.
So now you're telling me anything the police do in their line of duty, they cannot be held accountable for making bad mistakes and bad decisions, and you want to put that back in office? That's thirsty black men.
Yo, where's this Umar? This the Umar who in an alternate timeline actually built the school. In an alternate timeline, this dude got 3 schools open. The real Umar Johnson has revealed himself. This was literally within a few weeks of each other. This was a month ago. Both videos. The first video we played was a few weeks ago, and before that, I think that was a month ago. These were in the same. So imagine. Wait, actually, y'all preaching. Rebecca, I don't mean to cut you off because I want to put a fine point on this. No, this was still while Joe Biden was candidate. This was back in July. This was before Kamala became a candidate. And so this video, right? Because when I just pulled it from somebody's timeline, their timeline I pulled it from has a July 14th on the date that they shared it. Kamala didn't get when did Kamala get in the race? July 30th?
This was right here. You're right. Let me correct myself. This was this year in July when Joe Biden and oh boy were going head to head for a second. I keep forgetting that there was someone
look how he flipped on the black woman though. That's what I'm bringing it out. He was talking like this when it was a white man running in the Democratic
ticket. State your point, Ben, because it's getting good.
Because he flipped. Now he come out because there's a vein in the black community, and they're the most shiftless, good for nothing, non-child support paying Negroes on the face of the planet that don't like black women and afraid of black women leading. And all the while, they would rather support a white nationalist. This man literally promoted. Bring back up that other clip where he's in all the colors, looking like cross colors from the 90s. Bring that one back up, because he literally flipped from that on the Breakfast Club to saying they don't like Donald Trump because he's a nationalist. That's some mighty powerful hate for a black woman.
He had yes, it is. It's you've been, the point is it is hate for a black woman, and I'm glad that you brought that up because that slipped right beside me, just like a snake. Literally, he sat there and had all this to say when it was Joe Biden, and almost protected Joe Biden in a way by saying, y'all talking about Joe Biden, he wrong, and I don't want to vote for him. But Donald Trump was doing these things y'all blaming Joe Biden for.
And now he like,
Donald Trump was president. I believe he won that. And because he is what America needs.
Because he ain't gonna support the
white people must be afraid, and they will revolt.
I mean, he went from being on the front lines of the revolution to being like, nah, I don't know, Master. I don't know if we want to make Master afraid, because Master afraid they might actually rebel around these here parts.
Sorry, Master. I think Jane goes on that way.
Black woman? Oh, come on, man. I bet you he behind on his child support.
Absolutely. I didn't even know he had kids.
I don't know. I'm just
look, Ben. I don't know if he has kids. We're not putting that out there.
I'm just joking. I don't know.
Snow bunnies. I'm talking to the snow bunnies. I'm talking to the snow bunnies. I'm talking to the. He will repeat the same thing 17 times. Like, man, I heard you. Don't try to do your psychological stuff over here. But anywho, this is what I'm talking about. Your favorites, the ones that you guys are quoting, the ones that you are basing why or how you're going to vote, have switched last minute.
Yep.
Switched last minute. Been walking the fine line.
Snoop.
Of grifting.
Even my beloved Snoop Dogg.
Snoop didn't say nothing until he said something, and I feel like he's trying to take that, or trying to act like he ain't say that. And I'm like, sir, you said F Trump, and then you went to support what? 50 Cent. You have the same stark difference with 50 Cent on the show.
You know how much money they have to blow? This is how much money MAGA has to blow. They offered 50 Cent $3 million to perform at the Madison Square Garden event where they insulted Puerto Ricans. Now he turned it down. Shout out to him. I guess he got enough money to not need that kind of bag. And I'm glad, even if he needed that bag, he said no. Yeah.
But that's just how much money they got to blow. So you don't think these people who are impressed by $1,200 ain't gonna turn around and be like, "Ooh, another $600 to support Donald Trump? I'll do it."
I do it. I do it, master. I
do it for $509. Take that pity.
Is the same guy who was simulating fellatio to the world.
I saw that and couldn't believe it. I saw that. I'm like, what's going on? It's the same guy who was talking about the size of Arnold Palmer's penis. We are in some interesting times, Rebecca.
We're in some very interesting times. And you got the video? I feel like he's trying to pull it up and
oh, maybe he's trying to talk to us in the chat.
He got one, he's still trying to move his little limbs and stuff. Now we got David working while he's still healing. That's all right.
David got a neck brace on and everything.
David trying to move and stuff.
Slow down, everybody. He told us, he said, look, if I'm doing this, I'm gonna be a little slower than usual.
He did. In the meantime, while you're looking for that, this is going to be our commercial break. We're going to have Dr. Carl Mack on the show to promote his brand new, his second version of the Black Heritage Day women's calendar. He's already got one out, but this is his second version. He wanted to redo it or put out another one, add some more people to it. I think right now is the best time too. When we're going to have him on the show, he's going to take us through a history lesson of the first woman who was elected into a seat. And because we think about Shirley Chisholm a lot, but he's going to give us a great history lesson. We're going to go through that with him on, I'm hoping it's this weekend. Especially we're going to need a refreshing history lesson, but we're going to need some refreshing time after Tuesday, whatever that looks like. So be expecting that. And this literally has, for every single day of the year, it has some history back from front to back, some history on it. I love any page you want to flip. It's all about women and what they've done in America historically. So look how thick this is. And again, the pages are front to back. I got my personalized message because I got that.
He wrote you a long note. 366 days of Black women achievements in this country. And shout out to Dr. Mack. Because he is our historian. I don't know anybody who has put as much time into unearthing Black history the way Dr. Mack has done it. So definitely shout out to that brother.
And that is going into this.
One last thing. And he's getting ready to put out I don't know when, but I'm going to encourage him to keep working on it. 366 days of Black people in STEM, science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. And the fact that just the few that he read to me already blows me away how much we allow these white folks to tell us we hadn't done nothing in this country, because we literally have done just about damn near everything that you are proud of.
Absolutely. And we need y'all to see it. Ben, that's perfect. I love that. And I want him to work on dropping that for sure. I think this women's one is great too, because I don't know, for some reason they're acting like women have no value.
Come on.
And we know the quote from Malcolm X: the most disrespected person in America is the Black woman.
Right.
And meanwhile, look at this book, and this ain't even all the women, but he got so many in this book to cover a year. Full year. And it's front to back, so that's double, right? 366 pages, both sides. But here we have Donald Trump, who comes from money, who has done pretty much nothing to help nobody, but actually was a part of a lot of historical events that hurt the Black community.
Facts.
From housing to the
Central Park Five,
the Central Park Five, to now the exonerated Central Park Five, who their lives were taken away from them. This man has some kind of connection to that. Now, let's take a look at just him in representation.
What is going on? What?
Way too low. Way too low. So I walk in, I said, shit, there's nothing worse than I walk in like this and I'm, did you I was bending over like this.
Rebecca Azor.
I have not seen that whole thing. I just saw like a little.
Like Rebecca.
That's what
This is the man they think is one person actually wrote the book that he's the son of man, that he's the second coming of Christ. This is him. This is the man that they say that he is chosen or ordained and anointed by God to lead America. This is their guy. This is the man that Paula White, who I refer to as Paula White supremacist, is the spiritual advisor for Africa. Angels from Africa. Remember that?
How to call them African angels, and they almost shut down her church. Don't play.
Come on, African angels. But this is the person. This is who Kamala Harris has to do 10 jobs against, despite the fact that she has earned everything that she's ever worked for and worked her way up from the bottom to the top. But that ain't enough for people like Umar Johnson.
No, it's not. It's definitely not. And that's the problem. We can't depend on people like Umar Johnson to tell us who to vote for. Umar Johnson is getting a coin. But baby, you over there at that little job that's paying you $6 an hour in your little town that you never left, you're not getting a thing. You're not getting anything for supporting him. You might lose that little $6.
Look, no. Umar's done. Umar and all of these other people who have built their entire entities, their entire brand, their organizations off of pro-blackness. And now in this hour, when you have an opportunity, they don't even think Kamala is black. You are Negroes who know very well the one-drop rule in the United States of America, which was used against us. But now y'all are suspending it and say, oh, the one drop. No. Kamala's not really black, so we're not going to. These people are done. They don't have any standing in the black community. And if you follow them, you are as dumb as them and you are as done as them, because you are following behind people who are supporting white supremacy.
Absolutely. And I don't know how better you can say that. People think that it's rocket science. It's not. You're literally supporting that. There's nothing that you can say. I don't care where you stand on abortion. Donald Trump has a lot of other policies that he intends to put in place that will hurt you worse than that, right? Worse than your belief in the fact that abortion isn't godly. He has a whole bunch of policies that aren't godly and can hurt you.
Literally on his website right now, any school, and you mentioned this at the top, but I got to bring this up again. Any school that teaches what they consider to be woke, critical race theory, or slavery will lose funding. That is a stated goal on Donald Trump's Project 47 or Agenda 47 on his website. Go look at it on his website right now. It's right there. And
Agenda 47?
Agenda 47. It has it listed on his website. Now you got to click. See, he's slick. You got to click one extra tab to get to the part about the black folks and about critical race theory. But he's made it very clear. And you got so many black folks. And here's the thing, I'm starting to realize and accept there's just black folks who don't care about blackness. There's black folks who don't care about the black culture. There are black folks who certainly don't care about black history. And they are the ones who are on the front line. And they happen to be starting to recognize that a lot of them are just black folks who don't pay their child support. There's a connection there. They really are upset about the fact they got to pay that couple $100 every month out of their check. They seem to be overwhelmingly like going over like my brother, part of being a black man is taking care of your children. Are you really that far
Not Ben's
gone?
actual brother, for the audience that didn't know. He's talking about brother, black man to black man. I just wanted to clarify so y'all don't be like, that's your brother, Ben.
No, my
Just
people,
wanted to
my
clarify.
people in my family do real good about taking care of our children, whether they're in our household or not. But most of us are in our household. We do pretty good on that regard. We ain't perfect, but there is an overwhelming connection between the misogyny of men, whether they're black, white, Asian, Hispanic, it don't matter, and their support for Donald Trump, period.
Meanwhile, after the garbage truck statement, this is what I was trying to tell you. Y'all wanted to say, remember when them people were saying, oh my God, Joe Biden's so old. We was all saying it. We was like, dang, we ain't got no opportunity.
Especially after that debate.
And then now with a woman and the woman being our vice president of the United States, Kamala Harris, and Tim Walz. Let's look at Donald Trump trying to show off for the garbage truck. We're all garbage people. We're all garbage because of the statement. But look how he can't even open the truck because he don't even know how to open doors. And you want him to lead this country? Let's take a look.
Oh, they got it in slow motion too. Okay.
Baby, he almost fell. That lower third is killing it. But I want you to see how click on that for me, David, of that link in the chat. I want you to see this man who can't even get in the car, open the door. He's complaining about how the mic placement is. Y'all can say he didn't know he was making a sexual joke or sexual whatever in front of people, children, and all that other stuff. But yet, that's that. Please, okay. This is the same man who has sexual assault charges, all kinds of things. He's a felon. He's a felon. How many count? 34. He's a felon. He has a mugshot. He's a felon. He talks about grabbing women by the vajayjays without their consent. Okay, so not the Tim Walz clip. Yeah, that clip is Walz. Yes, please play that one. I want you guys to see how Walz comes down the steps, goes right into work. We may not know a lot about him. We may be just getting to know him because we didn't have the time. But look how he's ready to come and work for you. Look how he's ready to come and work for you. Let's take a look. If we can, because I know it's on.
Yeah, you gotta give. Okay, there you go. Because it's a little late. Okay, got it. There's a little.
Let's mute that.
About to get the whole stream taken
Just
out.
use your eyes, people.
He can run it out. He's like, let's
He ain't
go.
pointing at folks. Baby, he's treating this like another set of steps.
No,
Baby.
no, he a little winded, just a little bit,
but he did a little skip. But you see how he did a little skip to catch that breath. Came up there, did some hugs, kissed some babies.
That's literally from the window to the walls right there.
And
He ran
from the baby. That's good. From the PJ to the podium.
Oh man.
From the private jet to the podium, baby, it's quick. And it definitely it's giving. I'm healthy enough to do this, but your man's can't even open the garbage truck that he was trying to use, pun intended, when trying to send his shade. Couldn't even open it because he doesn't open doors. People open them for him. He's always been very privileged. But the everyday man like Tim Walz, not me selling him because I didn't even know who he was 4 months ago.
I had heard about him. I saw that clip of him, but yeah, I'm with you. I didn't really know nothing about him except for he gave them kids. I don't even remember his state he from now. It's been so long. What state? Montana? Somewhere. So, anyway, when he gave them kids that free school lunch and all them babies were hugging on him and stuff, I was like, I don't know a lot about him, but he a good man. Not this guy on your screen right here though. Watch this. Boom.
Oh, baby, can't even. Oh, get the door. Oh my, baby, he
like
oh,
missed the door.
That hip gave out, baby. That hip got a few years left on it.
Whoa, I see, but I ain't gonna mess with him because I know what that hip giving out.
Baby, thank God for good. I ain't even got no hips. God said no. He said no.
God
he said you got a face, but we will get. Yes, he did. God blocked it.
Oh man,
they don't play Kurt Carr no more. Shout out to Kurt Carr.
Oh man.
Yeah. No,
man.
Go ahead, man.
No, I was just gonna say, man. Listen, we need to get our show on somebody blackest channel we can find.
Blabbity Griot. They act like they don't see us, and I know they do. I know they all see us. Now
we can go over to Malico as far as I'm concerned.
Who's Malico?
Malico with the Mississippi Mass Choir. They not even a channel. They're a record label, but we so black and so old school. We blend right in.
But shouts out to Smokey Norfolk, one of the pastors that I've been watching avidly as my other church is going through some things. Shouts out to Smokey Norfolk because he actually isn't afraid to talk about politics in a way that is respectful to the gospel, especially in the black church, to act like, especially in this climate, that things are not happening. And they're affecting the people in your church.
That's right.
And they come to your church for everything. For everything. A lot of people, their whole lives are built around the church, around the religion. And so you not acting like you see what's going on to have the conversation with your church, with your congregation, I think it's hurtful because what the right is doing, baby, they over there.
They don't
They
even
going
care
10
about the
toes
rules
down
no more.
every Sunday talking about how he is the coming of the second of Christ. He is Jesus Jr.
Jesus Jr.
And that is not the case. And then, so shout out to Smokey Norfolk, who's doing it in a way where he's not pushing people how to vote. He's actually using the Bible to counteract a lot of things that are being said politically and telling them that they do have a right.
That's right.
They absolutely have a right. Dr. Martin Luther King was a preacher. A lot of our civil rights leaders come from some form of religion where they're believers or they've preached the word or whatever. So y'all got to stop.
We believe in justice. We believe in a God of justice.
Mhm.
Black folks have had to believe in a God of justice because that's the only thing we could have hope in, as these white Christians were lynching us, enslaving us, raping our women, separating us from our children, redlining our communities, flooding our communities with crack cocaine. As white Christians were doing that, we had to appeal to the God of justice. And so, no, we don't have, there's no confusion about it, Rebecca. If a person wants to have their identity however they so choose, that's their business. Ain't none of mine. If you love who you love, that's your business. Ain't none of mine. If you are an atheist, agnostic, I got a whole lot of them in the audience. I love y'all dearly. That's y'all business. Ain't none of mine. Now you come to my church, I'm going to preach Jesus Christ and him crucified. I'm going to try to convert you. I'm going to try to convince you that God is a God of science as much as anything else. But if you so choose not to, the Bible says, in so much as it is in our ability, live peacefully amongst one another. It is well and within my ability to let folks be who they choose or who they are, however they want to. That is your life, and I want you to have a good one. As far as all this other mess that's coming from white evangelicals, their goal is to make sure your life is miserable. One of us are not like the same of the other.
And it's funny because like they'll die on the hill while everybody else is dying on $1,200. They'll die on the abortion hill.
That's right.
Remember the lady from Mary and her whole, because of the abortion thing, and that was some of the first instances where we were seeing that on social media from people. They were utilizing their social media now to speak more on politics, and
that battery never failed.
It never failed. And so here we see that she lost her whole career almost. One half of Mary, I think her name is Eric. Is it Erica? I don't want to say it's Erica. I don't remember the names, but
one of them's Tina, one of them's Erica, but I'm not sure which one did what.
It was Tina, and she lost her. She go ahead and put Ben on.
What was I going to say? There was something else. Oh, as it pertains to abortion. Here's the thing, Rebecca. What they will never tell you is that 73% of people, women who get abortions, they get it because they cannot afford their next child. They get it while they are actually married. They try to make everybody who gets abortion seem like they're just floozies. I don't know where that word came from. It's the best one I got right now.
This is crazy.
They act like it's all immoral people who are doing. No, these are married couples who are making a very difficult decision. 73% making that decision because they cannot financially afford another child. If you actually if you cared about abortion and wanted to see abortions come down by 73%, you'd raise taxes on Elon Musk by 6%. 6% tax increase on Elon Musk would get you a 73% reduction in abortion. If you ain't about that, you're not about life.
Absolutely not. And you know what's so funny? People are talking about these abortions. Sometimes people don't want them kids. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. But for real, not being able to afford it, and then you telling them to have them, and then not giving them any kind of help or resources. And then when they do get resources, you tell them that they're the ones getting it the most, when in reality, statistically, white folks are getting those resources the most. Why?
Bingo.
So please, let's be for real. Let's be honest. We don't want to, it's not that people don't want the kids. And sometimes people are in a place where they can't afford the children. Their lifestyle cannot handle it. All right. So we should be able to say when we're ready to be able to have kids. Nobody is having 9-month abortions. When that man was talking about penny in a pan, who the hell is penny in a pan, baby? During the debates, that one, the guy was talking about the story of the woman, and I want to say it was Vivek, penny in the pan. There was a girl named Penny, and she was in a baby named Penny, and she was in a pan. They just make up whatever they want to make up. But whoever
talking about Brown Jimmy Neutron head, that boy.
I want to say it was him that said that story, but one of the people on the right was trying to make that abortion story stick. Okay. But at the same time, they left that whole debate, and behind right under our noses, abortion was getting the little left of the abortion rights
taken, just snatched away.
So we're at the end of the show. We
because I've been smelling my wife's dinner for the last
I need to go
45 minutes.
I need to go cook. I'm cooking alone because I'm single, and I'm gonna cook for me in my household. Okay. And I want you guys to know, single, married, whoever you loving, whatever it's looking like, please, you have a right. And I'm speaking specifically to my Black people. You have the right to vote. If you're registered and you already did the things, please go vote. If you can just do that, because we need to honor the people who are before us, and the people who helped for us to be able to do this, right? For Black people to be able to have the opportunity. The year was 1963. People were still paying poll taxes to pay to vote. And some people were choosing to feed their kids, like Ben's wife is about to do, feed their kids and their husband over going to vote, because that's what the cost was. So
we'll be here tomorrow.
We'll be here tomorrow
after we vote, right?
Absolutely.
What
We'll be
time?
here tomorrow. I'm going to take the full length of the day in the beginning to just be with myself and the Lord, so I can get ready for what's going on. So we can definitely come in. What time you think?
About the same time? What time? Well, you could do it at 6. Let's just say
Let's do it right before 6 o'clock.
Why not go right into TYT's time? They're not even leftists anymore.
Yeah. No, absolutely. They can't tell us what to do. This used to be our time at some point.
At some point we were here.
We did all the times. But yeah,
over the place.
Bubba's gonna be coming on. He'll be DJing in the beginning for y'all, and then we'll come in at 6 o'clock. So he'll do a pre-party for y'all to get y'all ready. And post things like that. I'm gonna have my mind getting right, and I'll be right with you guys, and we'll go into it together. Okay? Because I'm not about to spend my whole day on this election stuff. I did my part.
That's right. Well, I'm going to do my part. My wife's going to go do her part, and we're going to see y'all tomorrow afternoon.
And before we get out of here, let's go ahead and give a quick shout out to the people who did the super chats. I think that's what they did.
Yeah. Over in the starred section.
Go ahead, Ben. You did.
Charlie, I can't pronounce your last name.
Charlie, thank you so much. I want to say, Charlie, maybe onto a new career next year. Also, you're looking slick as hell, ma'am. Thank you so much. Thank you for
Omega
holding down
Star.
like that. Omega Star, can I get some birthday wishes? We already happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Omega. Happy birthday to you. And thank you so much.
And many
and many more. Because they don't do that no more. We don't got altos, we don't got sopranos, we don't got tenors, we don't got bass no more. Because they're not training them up right, man. But okay. Adrenaline. The bash.
Nobody talks about the effects of testosterone. I'm trans. My T is now lower than my cis sisters. EST, I'm not sure what that stands for, established, is higher, and I am more stable. Testosterone causes scary rages. Wow. So glad to be rid of it. Well, congratulations. I have had to meditate the hell away out of my testosterone, my rage. So I addressed it through, hours and hours of meditation. But congratulations to you, Tiger, our man Tiger. Jill Stein, like Jeepers Creepers popping up every 4
Ain't no good. Ain't no good. But I'm sorry to hear that you had to go through that adrenaline. I wanted to go back to that, but I'm glad that you were able, like Ben was saying, congratulations that you figured out what's wrong with it. People aren't talking about that. They don't want to talk about things that are going on within the trans community when it comes to medical or whatever. They just want to throw stuff out there just for whatever and say that you guys are abusing it or what, the community is abusing it or however, but that don't be the case. People trying to get medication that works, but they don't want to have the conversation that surround that because it's so faux pas. But there we go.
Parker.
Yeah, she is Jeepers Creepers though. Parker, thank you so much. Dems have to keep John Tester in Montana or beat Ted Cruz in Texas to keep the Senate. If GOP takes control, Kamala will be significantly hindered.
Facts. Omega Star again. Omega Star. Oh wait,
baby, you not about to happy birthday us to death. We got you. We got you.
They did. Oh, you know what? They went to 2 different channels.
I love that they support.
Who got the 20 and who got the 10? No,
I think because my channel. We on the struggle bus. We trying to get us. We trying to get us up there.
Send on over, Rebecca. Well, since you gave it on my channel, let me sing too. Happy birthday. I can sing better than that, but I'm not. All right, here we go.
He can also know for sure.
I sing churchy though. I don't do that. That Black Marilyn Monroe she just did. Soul Life said I'd match the next donation. Omega made me do it. Shout out to you, Soul Life, for doing that. Oya, I'm gonna let you take that.
Okay. Oya Amakisi. I hope I got that right. Oya Amakisi. We can tell where he gets his news or who is paying him. Just ridiculous.
Talking about Umar.
Mm-hmm.
Omega Star came
great.
back.
I like your picture.
Omega Star dropping coins on their birthday.
Where the money reside. Where the money reside.
Thank you for the super sticker.
Jinmir.
Yeah.
Jinmir is they put in my chat how to pronounce the name.
Okay.
Charlie Jinmir.
Trump's getting into the wrong end of that truck. He's supposed to go in the back. Facts.
Because I love that. He's the garbage. Pixie on the moon.
Love you.
Posting David's Cash App because he won't and he can't get mad at me if I do. I love you, brother. Get well, DKG87. Don't worry because we wasn't going to end this without giving his Cash App. Trust and believe. But our producer right now who is healing, DKG87. DKG87 on Cash App. And it's Jinmir. Gin like the drink. Ginger ale. Gin like the alcoholic drink. I don't drink for real no more. But
I had it's got to have been 3 years since I had a drink, Rebecca.
Oh, I love that for you, Ben.
Yeah.
Your skin is telling a great story about that.
Well, it's when you stop drinking and stop eating processed foods.
Ooh, you stop eating processed foods too? I love that for you.
As much as I can. Like if we get something from the grocery store, that's one thing. But like fast food, I don't eat fast food no more. Nope.
Fast food won't find me.
Yeah.
I've been cooking like nobody's business.
Yeah.
Because whom God shall bring to me is gonna eat.
They gonna eat good.
He gonna eat good. Now, again,
this is a part of the service.
This is Ben. Here go yours. This is the offering time in May. The church.
See, I'm not logged into the main account, so I don't get to see how many people are with us tonight. But I suspect there's got to be at least 20 people in the audience. No. They can get the 20 people. They can each send Sister Rebecca Azor $10 each, possibly even $20 each, because she is out here. First of all, let's just say this. We are doing something that most people can't. We are a unique voice in this country. And just because our audience isn't the size that it could be and should be, doesn't mean that you're not investing in the best show on the face of the planet. That said, treat your host, tip your host, Rebecca Azor, accordingly. There's at least 20 of you, 30 of you. I feel it right now. I have even 40 of you who can send over a donation to Rebecca Azor right now because she's holding the line with like it or not, and she's doing it on faith, right? Straight up faith. So y'all support that sister as much as you can, whenever you can. When you get an extra coin and you got something to spare, instead of going to get that nickel bag, instead of going to get that dub, you send it over to Rebecca Azor so that she can keep ministering to you in this work that she does.
I appreciate it. Cash App, Becca's Voice. Cash App, Becca's Voice. And I know Ben doesn't have his phone, but Still continue to support his channel. Send those super chats because I'm sure, once he finally gets to his funds, he's going to be blessed.
Ooh, I look at that super. Let me go find my phone and get that Cash App and see all that money that's been piling up over the last
You
year.
need to.
I ain't seen no phone in 2 years.
You need to. And I'm glad that is a good posture to be in. One of these days, I will focus on just doing the show and not being on any other social media, doing the show and going my way. I need a mental break one of these days. But for now, here we are. And I appreciate you guys. Please do support the way you can. Patreon.com/like it or not. So we can make sure we continue to pay for the system that you're watching us on. We love you. We mean it. Tomorrow's the day. Make sure you get your mind right.
Will bring better in you. Since you said tomorrow, shout out to rest in peace, Quincy Jones.
Oh, rest in peace, Quincy Jones, who is responsible for a lot of our greats. While out here running his mouth because he knew the days was gone. The days was looking short, so he was out here running everything.
He told all the business.
Told all the business.
Before he left, he said, "Before I die, I'm gonna tell you who was doing who and how they were doing it."
How they were doing. He said, "Yeah, it was scary." I told him to tell everybody. He said, "No." I got about 20 women.
You got what was that he told about? What's the guy who played Mark Anthony in Shakespeare? That real famous one. Everybody thought was a handsome white dude. I mean, he put that man business out.
Matthew
there.
McConaughey?
No. Shakespeare. Back in the day.
Okay. No,
anyway, I can't think of his name. Part of the Rat Pack. But anyway, shout out to him, Quincy Jones, who spilled all the tea before he died.
Crazy. I love you guys. I mean it. Tomorrow is going to be election day. Get out and vote. Send us some pictures. Maybe we can play it on the show. Y'all, send us some photos. I'm so serious. Okay. Send it in the DM. Send it over to the email. Put up that email one more time because I would love to post.
Do we even have access to that email anymore?
Send
it to us on Twitter. Probably
send to us on DMs on Twitter, on Instagram, Threads. Well, Threads don't got DMs, thank God. But on Instagram and on Twitter, you guys can definitely DM us some photos of you guys, and we can just throw that up as well, just to keep the joy, just to be proud of yourself for exercising your right. All right, tomorrow is the day. Make sure you go to sleep tonight. Don't put none of that weight on you. I know it's been a lot, but we'll be together tomorrow and we'll have that conversation, and we're gonna love on each other.
That's right.
See you. Love you, mean it. The work that we're doing here is not going to stop when it comes to these type of discussions. It's going to be for us and by us here on this platform when the media is telling us to look the other way. Your support is what helps us move forward. Join patreon.com/like it or not. Help us grow.
Like it or not, y'all. Y'all know what time it is. It's time for like it or not. Rebecca Azor is in the house. You know she got a funny story to tell. Talking politics, culture, or real life ish. I live in life in the ATL. Benjamin.